What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. I'm really excited to make this video for you guys. Today I'm going to be showing you how to install the form lighting 4Runner headlights for your 4Runner. Reason why I'm super excited is I love my 4Runner. It is my favorite car I've ever owned, and I don't think I'm going to ever own anything else. But one thing I can't stand is my headlights. As you can see, they are starting to turn yellow. And no matter what I've done, I've sanded them, I've re-clear coated them, it just will not go away. So I've been in the market wanting to get new ones, and I picked up these badass headlights. These are pretty sweet. They have daytime running lights across the top and then along the bottom. And the cool thing is you can have white or you can have amber. So I have all amber lights in the front of my vehicle to include my fog lights from Diode Dynamics. So this is gonna match everything and look really good. So I can't wait to put them in. So let's get to it, and I will show you how to install these lights on your 4Runner. All right, so the first thing you're gonna wanna do in order to replace your headlights is pop your hood, and then you're gonna remove this plastic trim piece. So the way you're gonna do that is you're gonna push down on the pin, and that will essentially make this piece go in the other. And then you can just pull them out. If they're stuck, you can use a pry tool like this. But what you're gonna do is remove all of them and then set this to the side. The next step is you're gonna remove this upper grill portion over here. The way you're going to do that is there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 push pins. You're gonna remove those, and then you're gonna take a 10mm socket and remove this 10mm from here. And then this piece will come off. And just a reminder, for those that have Raptor Grille lights, make sure you disconnect them. I just disconnected all of mine. Everything is loose, so now I'm gonna show you how to remove this piece. All right, in order to remove the upper grill, you're gonna take your hands like this, you're gonna grab the upper portion, and you're going to gently pull forward. And it should release from the grill itself. All right, guys, to remove this piece, it's gonna be mounted right here. You're gonna take both hands make them like a C. You're gonna grab the upper portions and you're going to pull. It's gonna seem like there's something holding it. If you took that 10mm bolt and those 6 push pins out, there's nothing holding it. You just need to put even pressure on both sides and pull towards your chest or body. And that will release this piece. So now this can be put to the side. All right, the next step to removing your front bumper and to change your headlights is there's 3 10mm bolts in the fender or wheel well. I've already removed those. Additionally, you're going to have 2 more here. There's one right here, and then there's another one right here that you're gonna remove. And then in front of the TRD plate, you're gonna have one here, and then you're gonna have one here. And then same on this side, you're gonna have one here and one here. And then the 3 10mm that are in the wheel well. So I'm gonna go remove those now. And pro tip, if you have one of these, it saves a lot of time. You just like that. So get yourself one if you don't have one. To remove this piece again, you're gonna gently put your pry tool under here, very gently, and you hear that first pop? Now you're gonna come over here, do the same thing. Another pop, another pop, another pop, and it should now be released. So that is how easy it is. You just need to be very careful and take your time. But it comes out pretty easy. Okay, I have not removed my fog light connections yet, just because I haven't been able to access them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove them near the end. But for now, I just wanna remove the remaining part of these clips. As you can see, it just came out. So now I'm going to disconnect my Fang lights as well as my fog lights from the grill. Okay, so the next step to removing your headlights is you're gonna grab your 10mm socket. There is one 10mm, one 10mm. There is one 10mm, one 10mm, and then one 10mm. You're gonna remove those 5 bolts. I don't think you actually need to take this one off, but I'm gonna remove it anyway. That way I don't put pressure on this and break it. But yeah, I'm gonna take those 5 off, and then don't forget, for those of you like myself that have resistors for LEDs, go ahead and get all that disconnected from your headlights prior to trying to remove everything. That way you're not trying to unplug stuff while the headlight's in your hand. So, all right, I'm gonna do that and I'll show you the next step. All right, the passenger side headlight has been removed. Pro tip, if you're doing this alone and you don't wanna strain your body taking the headlight off and then having to fiddle with disconnecting everything, what you can do is unscrew the lights, or the housing for the lights. For example, the turn signal, you can just let this dangle, and while it's dangling, you can remove the headlight, and then you can go back and just unplug them. So that should save you a lot of time and hassle if you're doing this by yourself. And it just makes it easier. So next I'm gonna do the driver's side, and then I'm gonna get the form lights out of their box and put them in. Really quickly, guys, if your headlight screws are rusted, what you're gonna wanna do is I have a impact and then a metal wire brush. I'm just gonna quickly clean them up like this. Once that's done, I do have anti-seize that I'm gonna put on the screws, and that will just prevent further rust and stuff getting stuck. So I recommend you do that if you have, if you get to this point and everything's taken apart, just put anti-seize on everything after you clean it up. I am also going to scrape this with a wire brush that I have right there, and I'm just gonna throw some wool wax. That way that does not develop into anything. It's very surface level, it's literally nothing, but I'm gonna spray it, that way nothing can develop from it. So here you have a harness, I'm guessing for the DRLs probably, but I can't say for certain, so I'm just gonna put that up there, and then here are the lights. All right, guys, my first thought is, man, these things look really mean. You got your daytime running lights up top that are both white and amber. You can switch back between them. And then you have 3 lenses for the lights. I believe the 2 outer ones are your low beams, and then your center one is your high beam, but I don't want to speak on that because I'm not 100% sure. One thing I noticed that is pretty cool is on the older headlights like mine, you would have a wire coming out of here, a wire coming out of here, and then you'd have wires coming out of here for your turn signals and whatnot. On the form lighting, they all come out of the bottom. They're all in one centrally located spot. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So they all come out of one port. There's no other areas you gotta worry about.
This step is important to decide if you want white or amber DRLs. So if you want white, they're most likely plugged in, but you can check by pulling the grommet that's at the bottom of the headlight using either a trim tool or another tool that you have on hand. You're going to check the black and blue wire, and if it's plugged in, then you have white DRLs enabled. If you want amber, simply unplug them and then put the grommet back in place, pushing all the wires back in. That way nothing can get into it. All right, this is a critical step. On the bottom side of your OEM headlights, there is a bracket on each of the lights that's held in place by 3 Phillips head screws. You're going to want to remove these brackets and install them in the same location on your form lights located at the bottom of the headlight. If you do not install these brackets, when you go to put your bumper on, it's not going to hold the way it's supposed to. Don't ask me how I know this.
Okay, what you're going to want to do next is there are these brackets that hold the bumper to the light itself. You're going to unscrew these 3 screws and then transfer them to your new headlights. One quick suggestion, if you are replacing your headlights, while you're at it, get yourself some dielectric bulb grease and just put some on all your fittings. Like you see how that one is a little bit green? That's because this is near the lower end of the vehicle, so humidity and moisture is able to get in there. This will prevent corrosion. I already have some from the previous time that I put these, put my lights in. And by lights, I mean new LEDs. But just coat all these connections with the dielectric bulb grease or LED grease, and it will save you headache down the road. So I'm going to put a little bit on each one of these fittings, and then I'm going to get the headlights put in. All right, all the connections have the dielectric grease on them, from the headlights to the fog lights to my Fang lights, grill lights, you name it. What I also did was I took some Loctite rust converter and I sprayed this area, and then I sprayed inside this is like the crash bar. I sprayed inside and around it. Took like 2 seconds to do, but this will convert any rust and stop it from continuing. I also took my gloves off and put new ones on because I don't want any contaminants getting on the headlights, because as you can see, like the inside of the car is dirty once you drive it. So now I'm gonna put the lights in. All right, so I've plugged all the connections in. It's super, super simple. A lot of these connections are certain shapes that the other ones are not, like this one is a triangle. So plugging them in is really simple. The other thing that they did that's helpful is they paired certain ones together. So just like that over there is paired together, the ones on the headlights themselves are paired together like so, which makes it easier because the pair goes together. When putting this in, I did not mess with the harness yet. And the reason being is you can actually access that harness piece very easily. It's right there. So I'm gonna get everything reassembled and then mess with that later. When you put this in, you wanna make sure that the brackets line up with the headlight. Again, there's one there, one here. And then the big one that you don't wanna miss is there is a hole for that plastic piece that once you start screwing this in, it will pull it in. So just make sure you don't miss that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get to screws. I'm gonna put the anti-seize on those screws and then start buttoning up the front end. But man, that looks nice. I'm going to clean these before I put them in, but I just want to show you guys one thing. This one that doesn't have a moving washer, this one goes right here on the bracket. The fat short one, which is right here, goes on the outer bracket. And then the remaining ones that have a movable washer and are skinnier than the fat one, those are the ones that actually hold the headlight in place. So just wanted to point that out so that way you don't waste time trying to figure out which goes in what hole. Okay, both headlights are screwed in. Now I'm just gonna do a simple test to make sure that everything is plugged in correctly. Woo! Beautiful. All right, now we progress. All right, next step. Take that stuff off the crash bar. Plug the fog lights, Fang lights, and Raptor lights back in. Get the bumper remounted to the vehicle. All right, a little hack. If you take the box and stick it underneath the bumper, it is damn near perfect height to get everything plugged in. That way you're not bending over. You're not, you're not relying on anybody else. You can just put the bumper against the car on the box, plug everything in, and then push it into place. All right, guys. I have everything buttoned up from the bottom up. The last thing that remains is my upper portion of the grill. I'm waiting to do that because I just silicone around the lights. That way water won't get in. Water wasn't getting in, but I've had them in the past where they did. So because I already had it apart, I just went ahead and siliconed it real quick. Where I'm at now is I did connect that extra wire that they provided, that harness, to the light, and then I ran it underneath this frame area. I just need to zip tie it so it's up there. But what I did was the end of it is just a red wire, and you're supposed to put it in your fuse box, but I have a switch panel, so not using that. What I did was I already reconfigured my switch panel to support the DRL. So now when I hit this, my daytime running lights for the headlights will come on. This is my fog light, or this is my Fang lights and Raptor lights. These are my fog DRLs. This is my wolf box in the front and in the rear. And then this is my rock lights, the daytime running light, and then the actual high beams. So this is all done. Now I just need to go in the Auxbeam itself and move the wires around. I essentially need to take this wire and put it in this slot, make it a 30 amp fuse, and then shift everything up one. So that's what I'm gonna do now. So now the next step is I need to put the front grille back in place. So I'm gonna plug in my Raptor lights, and then I have to plug in those pop-ins. And then once the pop-ins are put in place, there's that one bolt that goes right here that's 10 millimeters. So that's what I'm gonna do next. All right, welcome back, guys. This is day 2 of filming. I got really busy the other night and had to stop recording. So once you get this piece installed, the upper grill piece, you are then good to put the plastic like shield, if you will, back in place. I ended up breaking one of those push pin things, so I got to get one from Toyota. But you can install this back in place, and then if you haven't already done so, you're gonna go to your wheel well, install the 3 10 millimeter screws that are there. Keep in mind you also have one here and then one here that needs to be installed. And then in the front of the vehicle, you have one right here and then one on the right hand side of the TRD plate. And then obviously on the other wheel well, you have the remaining 3. So that pretty much concludes the install. I will now show you guys what it looks like. All right, what I'm gonna show you guys next is the startup sequence for the form lights that then rolls into the daytime running lights. Mine are amber because that's what I selected. After the daytime running lights, I'll show you guys the low beams, the high beams, right-hand turn signal, the hazards, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like with the fog lights on, as well as the ditch lights. So right now, I'll show you guys the DRLs. So this is the startup sequence. You'll know the DRLs are on once it reaches peak brightness and stays constant. So now it has transitioned to the DRL function. If you turn the column 2 clicks, you'll get the side marker that turns on, as you can see here. And then if you turn it 1 more click, the outer 2 LEDs will turn on. Those are your low beams. And then if you pull the column back or push it forward, you'll hear a loud audible tone from the outside of the vehicle. You hear it faintly on the inside, and it's actually louder on camera than it is in person. So this is the high beams. You can see all 3 LEDs turn on, with the center ones having a higher intensity than the outer 2. This is back to low, this is back to high. Now I'll show you guys a right-hand turn signal. I'm gonna do it with just the DRLs. So you can see it's again sequential. And then I'll show you guys with the low beams on now. Again, still sequential. One thing that's cool is when you turn the turn signal off, momentarily the DRLs go off and then they come back. And then let's see, this is the hazards. Again, you have that sequential on both sides now. And then this is with the low beams on. And now for shits and giggles, these are my Diode Dynamics SS3 MAXs for my fog lights. Phenomenal beam pattern that they have. And then this is my ditch lights DRLs, and then ditch lights completely on. These are the SS3s, but they are the Pros, not the Maxes. So, all right, now I'll take you guys on a quick ride and show you guys what it looks like from the driver's perspective. For reference, you guys, this is the road that I'm going to be driving down with my 4Runner. I just wanted to show you guys how dark it is outside of the car with no headlights on. All right, guys, so these are the low beams on the vehicle. As you can see, there's like a little bit of a line over there. I have not adjusted my headlights yet, so that's why it looks like that. I think I have to do some tweaking to them, but these are the low beams. These are the high beams, so quite a big difference as far as coverage goes. And then this is with my fog lights on, and then this is with the high beams on, which disengages the fog lights. So yeah, all in all, I'm very impressed with these headlights. Didn't expect anything less because, you know, form lighting you know, is associated with Diode Dynamics. So yeah, guys, all in all, very impressed by these lights. They have phenomenal output. The high beams are, I mean, look at that, they're amazing. So yeah, pretty happy with it. They look really mean and aggressive, which I'm very happy about. And I really think I'm going to enjoy these once I get that beam pattern adjusted to accommodate my ride and lift. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope this helps you make a video if you're on the fence about getting these. So take care, guys.